Hi guys, welcome to Simply Scuba. Here we have the Cressi T10 Chromo with the Master Chromo second stage. So this regulator is, I quite like the aesthetics of it. It's quite smart. It's got a few sort of unusual features on the second stage that we'll look at in a little bit. First of all, we're going to take a look at the first stage. So the T10 Chromo is it's a 90-degree first stage, so it attaches 90 degrees onto the onto your cylinder valve, and then the hoses are going to come out of that. So I prefer this compared to like a wheel and spoke design. You have 4 low pressure ports and 2 high pressure ports, each of those coming off either side, and these are all angled as well, which is going to help your hose routing and fitting sort of things onto it. 2 high pressure ports means that you can fit a analog gauge and a wireless air transmitter. Available in both A-clamp and DIN. This is A-clamp obviously. DIN just has the screw thread. Environmentally sealed, which you can tell by this little section of sort of soft plastic. So this just means that it isn't going to allow any sort of contaminants like salt, verdigris, or any sort of crud in the water to actually get inside of the first stage, but it will allow the ambient pressure to get into it to balance the regulator. All that basically means is that the deeper down you go, you're not going to notice any kind of difference to the breathe quality. It's going to stay nice and consistent all the way down, so you get plenty of gas. You've got some pretty hefty sort of heat sinks on this as well, so this is going to go great in cold water as well. That's going to prevent ice from building up because the heat sink just allows the sort of coldness of the air rushing through to dissipate, and it's going to just absorb sort of surrounding heat from the water. Connecting the two is a traditional rubber hose, tough and reliable, nice and heavy as well, so it's not going to float up like a lot of the sort of modern day braided hoses. Then to the Chromo Master second stage. So this has a elliptical sort of front cover, elliptical diaphragm underneath that, which just means it gives a very different aesthetic, and also it does work very well as far as breathe quality, as a lot of testers have said. You have 2 adjustments on this. You have a pre-dive lever on the top, so this is just going to interrupt the sort of the venturi or a free-flowing second stage. So as a free flow starts to form, you just flick that to pre-dive, and that's going to interrupt it and stop it before you waste too much gas. But to get better airflow, flick it to dive mode when you're actually under the water and breathing from it, and you'll get a slightly better airflow so through that. One more bit of adjustment on the side is the breathing adjustment knob. So this is a really chunky metal sort of knob on that. Lots of crenellation on that, lots of grip. So even if you're wearing sort of big clunky gloves, you get plenty of grip on that. Dial it all the way out if you want a slightly lighter breathe, or screw it all the way in to get a slightly stiffer breathe. On the front cover, everywhere where you see Cressi, so this is a big old purge button, very easy to use from any angle, even if you're using big chunky gloves again. So you can use this in cold water. Of course, you can use this in warm water as well. It's as far as weight goes, it's quite average. I'd be quite happy traveling with it. One thing that I've just noticed is that on the dust cap on the A-clamp, you can see you get a spare cylinder O-ring, so that's always handy. A lot of the times when you travel abroad, you're given a cylinder and the O-ring on that has been used thousands of times. If it's getting a bit ropey, doesn't create a very effective seal, you can just swap it out for your own. So that's a really nice little feature on that. Yeah, it's a nice regulator. Personally, I like the aesthetics of it with the sort of chrome plating and whatnot. This is the Cressi T10 with a Master Chromo regulator. Thanks for watching, and safe diving.
We are an online dive store serving the UK and the world for all your diving equipment needs. So why not visit us at simplyscuba.com or click the box on your screen.